Well, Hasan Piker, did you see his deal?
Can we grab the Hasan Piker thing with the shot?
Where he shocks his dog? Sit down. And the dog goes, "Whoa." Dude, that has to end everything for him, man. You have to make...
No, it won't.
No. You have to make an affirmative decision to want to see a guy who tortures a dog and listen to him for hours. Dude, also, that was a 5-hour live stream. That dude's like Fidel Castro or something. If he's not hearing his own voice, then the day is wasted at any point. This is total American Psycho, because the whole thing, even though it looks like he's like in his crib and it's just his stuff that he likes, and there's mom and dad back in the corner, see, right behind him, like he had a normal mom and dad, and he really loves them. This is what a psycho does to decorate their world to make it seem like they have interests and affections.
Well, the subtext, that's what makes the dog thing so interesting. But anyway, go ahead.
Right. He makes sure the dog's in the shot, the fuzzy dog. I'm sure it's a rescue dog, or it's got some great story. Here's this satanic little, narcissist, with his curated rock and roll sweat t-shirt, concert t-shirt under his hang loose black jacket. This is the kind of guy who like gets a water bed and he gets his room all a certain way to be like the Mr. Bachelor seducer and everything. I mean, he loves himself. And that dog's a prop. I wrote a whole book about a psychopathic murderer who used dogs as a prop.
Really? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, Blood Will Out. My book, Blood Will Out, about so-called Clark Rockefeller, Christian Gerhardt's writer, killer who chopped people up and put them in bags and buried them and then had a party over the grave playing Trivial Pursuit. That kind of guy. Believe me, they exist, and I want to know what's under his podcast studio. So I see the dog accessorizing by toxic narcissists from a mile away. And I see it here.
When I was in college, this actually happened to me. I knew somebody who was like a women's studies major or a gender studies major, like a dude, but in private was like disgustingly chauvinistic. I would say, "Why is this your major?" And there were lots of reasons, but the big one was pussy. And then I said, "Does that work?" And he says, "Yes, especially if you have a puppy." But anyway, let's watch this.
I hate this fucking country so much. You can be on a fucking mountain in the middle of Norway and get better internet than Los Angeles, California. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America... Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just... You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Mother, please.
My mom, the mom who's like wedding picture you've got over your shoulder to show what a fucking good boy you are. Dude, the dog has to move. It's a sentient creature. It is not a plush toy. It has to sit there while you do 4.5-hour nonsensical rants about how rural internet service in Norway proves America to be an inferior and more violent country, frankly. Shit that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's the funniest part of that whole video is that he's riffing on violence 2 seconds before he shocks a dog. But
Matt, when you see that, America, don't let go of it. You just saw the lightning flashed and the countryside lit up. Remember what it looks like. Don't ever be fooled again by this guy or these types. I am a professional student of psychopathic and narcissistic, not just, oh, look at me narcissism, but the kind which is like, you are a bug. Okay, remember that you're a bug. And I am one of the top podcasters. That dog probably was waiting for 2 hours to move. It was
right,
scared.
Exactly.
It was probably peeing on itself because it knew that it was going to have to do this for whatever reason. Some itch, some need to go to the bathroom. Something was becoming overwhelming. It knew what was going to happen. And it said, well, it's going to have to happen. And when it did, the dog went right back into completely beaten, abused mode. You know, it had its little squeak moment. It got put down by, remote control. I'm surprised he didn't drone it. But then he looks at it like he didn't go, oh, what's wrong to the dog? He was like, you're doing this to me again? To Hasan? And I know it's not just you. I know it's my mom. Dude, why are you a public figure? Because actually psychopaths do very well in things like podcasting and public life, because it's their outer self and the curation of that outer self, especially in a world now where it's easy to figure out how to signify all kinds of things. Behind the scenes, they're a dusty, rat-filled attic of nothingness, full of droppings and old molding furniture. In front, they're like, ooh, architectural beard man with like $200 rock concert shirt under. You don't really know about this jacket, but I know it just looks like a jacket. But Dries Van Noten only made 3 of these. No, that's total American Psycho right there. Was he the guy that the New York Times told us was going to be the big...
He's going to be the next Joe Rogan.
And he appeals to gay people and straight guys have a crush on him because they can't help it. Dude's a monster. What is his political angle? I mean, he's obviously got to be hard left.
This is the New York Times' attempt to market this person.
And there's the dog, the fucking abused dog right in the shot.
He's got to have some of those Patrick Bateman scenes where he's filming himself.
This guy is the most consumerist being I've seen just look at all the signifiers there, the watch, man, the basketball, the certain kind of dog.
This fluency between culture and ideology has led many to brand Mr. Piker a Joe Rogan of the left. If Mr. Rogan had a mop top and painted his nails.
And was hateful, shocked dogs, and gave off a vibe of, if you touch my stereo, I'll fucking kill you. He's the male equivalent of a mean girl. These people live that way every day, as though they're at a photo shoot. But let's look at this one. Oh, Zinn, stacked high. He's a power user. Let's make sure we know that. He's got 2 cups of coffee because the dude is such a stimulant junkie. No wonder he does 5-hour podcasts. Okay, he's got a mini fridge, more caffeine, more uppers.
He's got a free Palestine thing there.
Yeah, he's got did you notice? You're supposed to stack your Zins on your Palestine flag and use it as a runner on top of your mini fridge. What's this thing? Is this some favorite movie?
No, they're all of him. That's Hasan Piker behind him.
He does glamour shots of himself in cinematic poses. What Hasan does in his spare time is imagines movie scenarios in which he might sub in for the star and actually look better in the role. This is a psychological X-ray of that which calls itself a socialist right now.
This is a great moment to bring up what American Psycho was really about. In their public-facing life, this is how they see themselves, right? It's like, he's wearing a linen suit by Kanani Milano, a cotton shirt by Ike Bahar, a silk tie by Bill Blass, and cap-toed leather lace-ups from Brooks Brothers. I am wearing a lightweight linen suit with pleated trousers, a cotton shirt, a dotted silk tie, all by Valentino Couture, and perforated cap-toe leather shoes by Alan Edmonds. And it's like hundreds of pages of this shit. The accessorizing is just a kind of gigantic mask.
Of course.
Hiding this monster underneath.
I'm going to tell you the truest thing you will ever hear about Hasan Piker. I'm not telling you this because I don't like him. I fear him because I fear his type, because I've seen it. The reason he's a socialist is because he has absolutely no empathy at all for other beings, for dogs, for old ladies, for poor people, for anything. But when you have zero empathy, which is the mark of psychopathy, you compensate by adopting the politics of total empathy. He knows a fact about himself that follows him every minute. He is, I am an empty, howling wasteland of nothingness. And everything that I do must be contrived to hide that from the world. Or I can't use them as my victims. Or I can't use them as my sexual partners. Or I can't get them to clean my house. Or I can't get them to serve me in a restaurant. Or I can't get them to represent me and make my podcast really big. So I'm going to be a socialist with a cuddly dog who just hangs loose. He is a complete artifact covering an ice-cold Antarctic wind.